article that I'll be sharing with you today is called "Life is Under Attack" by Vice President Mike Pence. Abortion is one of the most contentious and taboo political issues in our country today. Despite this fact, it is time for us as a country to come to terms with the reality that abortion is the preeminent evil of our time. Abortion, especially late-term abortion, which this article covers, is an assault on the most innocent and vulnerable members of our population, babies. This week, a delegate to the Virginia State Legislature introduced a bill affirming abortion up until the moment of birth. In shocking testimony, the delegate admitted that even when it was obvious that a child was about to be born, in the 40th week of a pregnancy, even in the midst of active labor, this proposed law would allow for the child to be aborted so long as a single doctor approves. Governor Ralph Northam, a supporter of the bill, went even further in a radio interview the next day. He tried to reassure its opponents that if a child survived an abortion, the infant would be kept comfortable and the infant would be resuscitated if that's what the mother and the family desired. There's another word for this, infanticide, and it is morally reprehensible and evil. Virginia's bill just comes a week after the New York State Senate was filled with cheers following the passage of a similar law. Governor Andrew Cuomo declared it a historic victory for our progressive values and directed pink lights to shine on landmarks throughout the state, including the World Trade Center. This shameless embrace of a culture of death is startling to every American who cherishes life. Not too long ago, the Democratic Party's stated position is that abortion should be safe, legal, and rare. It was this widespread rejection of the partial birth abortion that led a large bipartisan majority in Congress to pass the partial birth abortion ban in 2003. But now look at how far the Democratic Party has fallen. To support, let alone cheer, late-term abortions not only marks a disturbing step backward by so-called progressives, it also violates every demand of human decency. As modern science has moved the point of viability ever earlier in pregnancy, most Americans have agreed that a child who can survive outside the womb deserves a chance at life. Only a handful of countries, including China and North Korea, allow late-term abortions. Until we heard these cheers coming from Albany in the defense of the indefensible over the airwaves in Virginia, we thought states were moving beyond such barbaric practices. These Virginia and New York late-term abortion bills should be a call to action for all Americans. A society can be judged by how it treats its most vulnerable, and it would be unconscionable for us to let this moment pass in silence. We must recommit ourselves today and every day to restoring the sanctity of American law. Thanks to the efforts of millions of compassionate and caring Americans across the country, we are changing minds and turning hearts to embrace life as never before. Fewer abortions are being performed than ever recorded, a decrease of more than 50% since the 1980s. And this is a true cause for celebration. So even in this dark moment in our nation's history, Americans should take heart. The New York and Virginia bills aren't some bold departure into a brave new world. They're the last gasp of a dying movement that stands in stark and irreconcilable contrast with our nation's timeless founding principles. Our administration and our movement will continue to fight until our nation once again recognizes and celebrates the sanctity of all human life.